You are not here by accident. Every beat of your heart, every breath in your lungs, every moment you've survived, it's all part of something bigger than you realize. You didn't come into this world to simply exist, pay bills, because it fade away quietly. You were born for a pact. You were born to leave a mark so deep that the world cannot ignore it. And right now, you may not see it. You may feel like you're stumbling in the dark, unsure of where to go, unsure of who you even are anymore. But that feeling, that heaviness in your chest, that restless hum that refuses to let you sleep peacefully, it's not here to destroy you. It's here to wake you up. That ache you feel is not weakness. It's a message, a signal from somewhere deep inside you that the life you're living is not the life you were meant for. And no matter how much you've tried to bury it, no matter how much you've distracted yourself with noise, with screens, with endless routines, that voice refuses to die. You know why? Because it's the truth, and the truth will always find its way to the surface. Somewhere along the way, you stopped listening to it. You got caught up in survival and doing what was expected of you and chasing what other people said was success. You traded your fire for safety, your dreams for something that looked practical, and slowly, without even noticing, you drifted further and further from the person you were meant to be. You started living a life that feels small, predictable, lifeless. But here's the raw, unfiltered truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you've been dreaming about. No one will feel the urgency for you. If you keep waiting for the right time, if you keep telling yourself you'll make your move when you feel ready, then years will pass and you'll still be standing in the same place with the same excuses, wondering why nothing has changed. You feel lost right now because deep down you've been ignoring yourself. You've been silencing that inner fire, pushing it aside because it's uncomfortable, because it demands you take risks, because it asks you to walk into the unknown. But that unknown, that terrifying, unpredictable space, that's exactly where your life begins again. That's where you'll find the pieces of yourself you thought were gone forever. Every second you hesitate, the clock keeps ticking. And the brutal reality is that you don't know how much time you have left. The opportunities you have today may not be there tomorrow. The people you love may not be there tomorrow. Even you, this version of you, may not be here tomorrow. And when you finally understand that time is the most valuable thing you'll ever own, you'll realize how dangerous it is to waste it by staying lost when you could be fighting your way forward. So ask yourself, how much longer will you tolerate this? How much longer will you live in the shadow of your own potential? How much longer will you betray yourself by settling for less than what you're capable of? Every day you stay lost is another day you could have been building, creating, growing. Another day you could have been becoming the person you were meant to be. The truth is, you already know what you need to do. You've always known. It's buried under fear, under doubt, under the opinions of others, but it's there. It's been there from the start, whispering to you every time you felt that rush of excitement about something, every time you imagined a life that felt bigger than the one you're living. That vision was never random. It was a glimpse of what's possible, and you were shown it for a reason. You were not put here to wander aimlessly forever. You were put here to rise, to take what's broken and rebuild it stronger, to take the uncertainty, the confusion, the pain, and forge it into something powerful. Feeling lost is not the end of your story. It's the plot twist that forces you to start writing the chapter where you finally take control. And you can start right now, right here in this moment. Not when you feel ready, not when someone gives you permission. Now, because if you keep waiting, you will wait your entire life away. The road may be unclear, but movement is the cure. Action is the cure. You cannot think your way out of feeling lost. You have to move your way out. This is the moment where you decide to stop being the passenger in your own life. This is the moment where you take the wheel. No matter how foggy the road ahead looks, this is the moment where you look yourself in the mirror and say, enough. Enough drifting, enough waiting, enough hoping someone else will light the fire for you. The fire is already in you. It always has been. And the only way to find your way again is to start walking toward it. One step, one decision, one act of courage at a time. You are not here by accident. You are here because you still have chapters left to write. And the world will never see the greatness you carry inside until you stop hiding it. So stand up, lift your head, and take that first step, because everything changes the moment you do. You can't keep living like this. You can't keep pretending you don't know why you feel empty. You can't keep numbing yourself with distractions, scrolling through endless feeds, drowning in meaningless noise just to avoid facing the truth. You've been drifting, but telling yourself you're figuring things out. But deep down, you know, this isn't figuring things out. This is hiding. This is waiting for life to fix itself while you slowly fade into the background. Life doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't care how afraid you are. It will break you. It will test you. It will strip away everything you thought was certain. And the only question that matters is, what will you do then? Will you stay on the floor blaming the world for knocking you down? Or will you rise up and face it head on? Because make no mistake, every single person who has built a life worth living has been where you are right now. Lost, unsure, scared. The difference is they didn't stay there. The truth is hard, but it's simple. The life you have right now is the life you've allowed. Your habits, your decisions, your excuses. They've built this reality. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. You can control how you show up. You can control what you tolerate, what you pursue, what you fight for. And until you take full responsibility for where you are, nothing will change. It's easy to blame circumstances. It's easy to point fingers and say, if only this didn't happen, or if only they hadn't done that. But here's the reality. You could spend the rest of your life telling that story, and it will never move you forward. Your past doesn't care about your future. But you should. You have to stop making your struggle your identity. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, life has been unfair. But if you keep replaying the same pain over and over in your head, you are building a prison you'll never escape from. And the worst part, you're the one holding the key, refusing to use it. Every excuse you've been telling yourself is poison. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. These are not truths. They're lies you've repeated so many times they've become comfortable. But comfort is the enemy here. Comfort is the slow, quiet death of potential. Comfort will keep you stuck in the same loop for years, convincing you that someday you'll make your move. But someday isn't real. Someday is a thief that steals your life one moment at a time. You can't keep treating your life like a rehearsal. You're not getting a second version of this day, this year, this lifetime. And if you're waiting for a guarantee, if you're waiting for certainty, if you're waiting for everything to feel safe before you act, you'll be waiting forever. Lost is not a place you're meant to stay. It's a signal that you need to move. But movement means risk. Movement means leaving behind the old version of you. And that's uncomfortable. That's why so many people choose to stay stuck. They'd rather suffer in the familiar than face the unknown. But if you want more, if you want better, then you have to make a choice that will cost you something. It will cost you your excuses. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you the false safety of staying small. The question is, are you willing to pay that price? Because here's the brutal truth. You already are. Every day you stay where you are, every day you don't take action, you are paying with your time, your energy, your future. And you will never get that back. This isn't about waiting until you feel motivated. Motivation is a spark. It fades. What you need is commitment, the kind of commitment that says, I will move forward no matter what. I will fight for my life even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You're at a crossroads right now. One path is familiar, predictable. It's the path you've been walking for far too long. The other path is uncertain, uncomfortable, and it will demand everything from you. But it's the only one that leads to who you were meant to become. The choice is yours. And the longer you take to decide, the more you lose, not just time, but yourself. Feeling lost isn't the end. It's not the signal that your life is broken beyond repair. It's the moment life is trying to redirect you. It's the moment the ground shakes beneath you, not to make you fall, but to make you move. You've been walking a path that no longer fits the person you're meant to become. And the reason you feel disconnected, the reason every day feels heavy, is because your soul knows this isn't where you belong anymore. You see, people think they need to have the whole plan figured out before they take the first step. They think they need to see the entire staircase before they start climbing. But that's not how transformation works. You don't need to know every turn. You only need to see the next step in front of you and then take it with everything you've got. You don't find your way by thinking your way out of being lost. You find your way by moving, by acting, by stepping into the unknown and trusting that clarity will meet you on the road. Not before you start walking. The feeling of being lost is not your enemy, it's your compass. It's telling you that what used to feel right no longer does. That the job, the relationships, the habits, the routines that once made sense are now too small for the person you're becoming. And that's not a failure, it's growth. It's expansion. Think about it, a snake sheds its skin because staying in it becomes unbearable. A bird leaves the nest not because it hates it, but because it's time to fly. You're in that moment right now. The discomfort you feel is proof you're outgrowing your current life. And as long as you see it as a punishment, you'll resist it. But the second you see it as an invitation, everything changes. The truth is, no one ever built a life worth living by staying exactly where they were. Every breakthrough you admire in others came after a season of uncertainty, after a period where they didn't have all the answers, after a chapter where they too felt lost. But they didn't let that stop them. They let it guide them. What you need to understand is this: your life is not meant to be a straight, predictable line. It's not meant to be a smooth, perfectly paved road. It's meant to challenge you, to stretch you, to force you to grow into someone who can carry the weight of the dreams you have. The detours, the roadblocks, the sudden changes, these aren't signs you've failed. They are the very things shaping you into the person who can handle the life you're meant for. And here's the truth: most people never hear the moment you start seeing lost as an opportunity instead of a death sentence. You stop being stuck. You stop waiting for permission. You stop wasting time on someday, and you start asking, what's the next step I can take right now? That next step might be small. It might be something no one else notices. But it's not about how big the step is. It's about building momentum. You don't climb mountains in one leap. You do it step by step, breath by breath, refusing to stop no matter how far you still have to go. And while you take those steps, something happens. You begin to change. You begin to see possibilities you couldn't see before. You begin to feel strength you didn't know you had. And slowly, without even realizing it, you're no longer the same person who felt lost. You're someone who's moving, someone who's learning, someone who's becoming. You have to remember, there is no wasted season in your life. The times you felt most lost may become the very chapters you look back on and realized that was when you grew the most. That was when you learned what you were really made of. That was when you stopped living by default and started living by design. So don't fight the feeling of being lost. Don't drown it out with noise. Sit with it. Listen to what it's telling you, and then act, even if the action feels small. Even if the path ahead looks unclear. Your future doesn't require perfection. It requires movement. Because every time you take a step forward, you're telling the world, I'm not done yet. I'm still in this fight, and I will find my way. There is a version of you that you haven't even met yet. A version so powerful, so unshakable, that if you stood face to face with them today, you would barely recognize yourself. This version doesn't second guess every move. But this version doesn't freeze when fear shows up. This version doesn't live life on their knees begging for permission. They take it. They claim it. They build it. But here's the truth that will hurt before it heals. You will never meet that version of yourself if you keep being the person you are right now. The one who hesitates. The one who waits. The one who lets fear write the rules. That version of you has to die for the real you to live. The limits you believe you have are not real. They're stories. Stories you've been telling yourself for so long that they've hardened into your reality. Maybe someone once told you weren't good enough and you believed them. Maybe you failed before and you decided that failure defines you. Maybe you've been comparing yourself to people further along and convinced yourself you'll never catch up. But here's the truth. None of that is reality. It's programming. And programming can be rewritten. You have power you've never tapped in because you've been carrying the weight of those lies. You've been dragging the ghost of every mistake, every rejection, every no you've ever heard. But those moments don't have to chain you down. They can fuel you. They can become the fire that burns through every excuse you've ever made. If you want that breakthrough, you have to strip away everything you think you are and ask yourself, who am I without the fear? Who am I without the doubt? Who am I without the opinions of people who don't live my life? You'll find that what's left is something rare, raw strength. Strength that's been buried under layers of hesitation, waiting for you to claim it. The world will try to convince you to stay small. It will reward your obedience. It will tell you that safety is success. That comfort is the goal. But comfort is the silent killer of greatness. It whispers, stay here, it's fine. While it slowly robs you of life you were meant to live. And the only way to escape it is to break yourself open. That means confronting your own reflection and saying, I'm done being less than what I can be. It means feeling the fear and moving anyway. It means deciding, truly deciding that failure will not stop you, that rejection will not break you, that doubt will not define you. Because the second you decide that, you are unstoppable. Your breakthrough will not come when things get easier. It will come when you get stronger. It will come the moment you refuse to negotiate with your limits. It will come when you stop asking, can I do this? And start telling yourself, I will do this. Every belief that's been holding you back can be destroyed in an instant. The moment you stop feeding it, stop repeating the lies. Stop letting your mind rehearse all the reasons you might fail. Start rehearsing the reasons you can't afford not to try. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply untested. And the only way to see what you're made of is to step into the fire. The heat will hurt, but it will also forge you into something unbreakable. There is a stronger, sharper, more fearless you waiting on the other side of this moment. And the only way to get there is to step up, burn the excuses, and break through everything that's been holding you back. Stop thinking small. Stop treating your life like you have 1,000 more chances. Stop protecting your comfort zone as if it's your home, because it's not. It's a cage. And every day you spend in it, the bars grow thicker, the walls grow higher, until one day you'll wake up and realize you've built yourself a prison so safe, so predictable, that nothing inside it is worth living for. If you're waiting to feel ready, you'll die waiting. Readiness is a lie we tell ourselves to delay action. The people you admire, the people you think have it all figured out, they weren't ready when they started. They were terrified. They were uncertain. They just decided that their dreams were worth the risk of looking foolish, worth the risk of failing, worth the discomfort of walking into the unknown. You will never find your greatness in the familiar. Greatness lives in the places that scare you. It waits in the opportunities you almost took but didn't, because the what if was louder than the why not. If you want to change your life, you have to start moving toward the fear instead of away from it. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're standing at the edge of something that matters. If you run from it, you run from your own potential. But if you lean into it, if you walk toward it with shaking hands and a pounding heart, it will transform you. Fear will sharpen you. It will break off the pieces of you that are weak and leave behind the parts that can handle anything. You can't play it safe and win big at the same time. Safety gives you mediocrity. Safety gives you the life you already have. If you want more, you have to gamble with comfort. You have to step onto the field without knowing the outcome. You have to start before you know how it's going to end. Stop asking for the guarantee. There isn't one. The only guarantee in life is that if you keep doing what you've always done, You'll keep getting what you've always gotten. And if that's not enough for you, then it's time to make moves that scare you. Take the leap. Start the thing. Have the conversation. Apply for the position. Move to the place. Launch an idea. Say yes when your entire body wants to say no because it's unfamiliar. That's how you grow. That's how you break the cycle. You are capable of more than you think, but you'll never know until you put yourself in a position where you have to find out. Stop aiming for what's realistic. Stop waiting for the path to be perfectly clear. The people who change their lives are the ones who step forward before the way is obvious and figure it out while they're in motion. This is where you separate yourself from the crowd. Most people will never push past the limits they've set in their own minds. They'll convince themselves that the unknown is dangerous, that the risk is too big, that it's just not the right time, and they'll stay where they are forever, calling it being practical while their dreams rot inside them. You're not most people. You wouldn't still be here listening if you were. You have a fire in you that's been waiting to burn. You have a voice inside that's been whispering for too long. You're meant for more. This is your chance to prove it. Run toward the fear. Run toward the challenge. Run toward the thing that makes your chest tighten and your stomach twist. Because that's the doorway to your next life. That's the place where you stop existing and start living. Push yourself so far past your limits that when you look back, you can't even recognize the person who was once afraid to take the first step. That's when you'll know. You didn't just break your limits, you erased them. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things calm down. Now, draw a line in the sand, really decide that you will never again betray yourself by living small. This is the day you stop waiting for a sign, because this is the sign. This is the day you burn the bridges back to the person you used to be. No more retreat, no more running, no more hiding behind. I'll start soon. You have been given this life, and it is slipping through your fingers every second you hesitate. Do you understand that? Time is not patient. Opportunities do not wait for you to feel ready. Every day you stay the same. You are making a choice to trade your potential for your comfort, a choice to let the life you want pass you by while you convince yourself you'll get to it later. A later is a lie. Later becomes never. So make the decision now that from this day forward, you will act as if your life depends on it, because it does. Every choice you make from this moment on will either take you closer to the life you're meant for or bury you deeper in the life you're trying to escape. Tear up the script life handed you and write your own. Stop asking for permission to become the person you've always known you could be. Give yourself that permission and then take it further than you ever thought possible. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. But nothing worth having has ever been built from comfort. Comfort is the slow death of ambition. You have to want your new life so badly that you're willing to fight for it every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it, even on the days you see no results yet, even on the days the world tells you to give up. The person you've been up until now got you here, but they cannot take you where you're going. That version of you is built for survival. The version you're becoming is built for victory. And victory requires you to stop playing defense and start going on the attack against your fear, against your doubt, against every excuse you've ever made. Stand up right now, mentally, emotionally, physically, and declare that this is the turning point. That from here on out, you will not play small. You will not shrink to fit the expectations of people who have no stake in your future. You will not waste another year, another month, another day waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is here. The perfect time is now. Step into the unknown. Step into the discomfort. Step into the life you've been avoiding because it scares you, because that fear is the proof that it's worth it. This is it. No more rehearsals. No more warm-ups. Your life is on the line, and the world is waiting to see what you will do with it. So go, move, create, build, become. And don't stop ever until the person staring back at you in the mirror is the person you've always known you were meant to be.